Scorpio, there is something ancient awakening within you, not a new gift, but a forgotten one, not something you must earn, but something that has always belonged to you. It lives beneath your skin, in the shadows of your silence, in the glint of your eyes when no one is watching. And this weekend, without warning, without logic, without effort, that force is going to rise not like an explosion, but like a memory coming back to claim you. Don't make plans. Don't try to schedule the divine, because what's approaching you wasn't made to fit into a calendar. It was designed to disrupt everything you thought you had to control. For far too long, you've mistaken your depth for danger, your silence for invisibility, your intuition for paranoia. You let the world convince you that your magnetism had to be toned down, filtered, softened. But Scorpio, your essence was never meant to be gentle. It was meant to be undeniable. You were not born to chase recognition. You were born to haunt it. You were not made to stand in the spotlight. You are the fire that lights it. And somewhere, beneath years of performing strength and disguising softness, your soul has been waiting for the one moment you stop pretending and finally remember. That moment is no longer a metaphor, no longer a prophecy hanging in the stars. It is real. It is now. It is this very weekend. So, the real question is, what happens when the version of you you've been hiding becomes impossible to suppress? Stay with me. What I'm about to tell you next will change the way you see everything. Scorpio, what you are feeling right now, that restless hum under your ribs, that subtle quickening in your heartbeat for no apparent reason is not random. It is the sound of your essence rearranging itself, making space for the part of you that refuses to live small any longer. This is not anxiety, though it may disguise itself as such. This is not impatience, though it might feel like you're waiting for something unnamed. It is the deep awareness that something has shifted in the unseen, and that shift is about to spill over into your reality. You may notice yourself looking at familiar people and places differently, sensing truths you never saw before, picking up on currents of energy that had always been there but were muted by your own self-doubt. This heightened awareness is the first sign that the universe is positioning you for the moment where you can no longer hide behind the masks you've carefully crafted. For years, you have walked between two worlds, the one where you show just enough of yourself to be understood, and the one where your full power lives, sealed away because you feared what it might cost to reveal it. You've been told you are intense, mysterious, too much. And somewhere along the way, you believed that was a flaw instead of the signature of your soul. So you learned to ration your truth, to dilute your presence, to make others more comfortable, even as a quiet grief grew inside you for the parts of yourself you locked away. But Scorpio, that grief is about to turn into something else entirely, into a surge of remembering, into a wave of reclamation that will not ask for permission. This weekend will be a crossing point, a moment when something unplanned pushes you into complete authenticity, not because you were ready, but because you were chosen. And when that moment arrives, you will understand why the universe has been silent lately, why certain doors have stayed closed, why opportunities have been delayed. It wasn't punishment. It was alignment. You were not being ignored. You were being preserved for a moment so precise it could only happen when every piece was in place. This is why I told you not to make plans, because what is on its way to you is not the product of your effort. It is the response to your very existence. And when it comes, you won't need to do anything but stand in it, feel it, and know, without question, that it was always meant for you. Scorpio, there is a moment coming when time itself will feel different, when the air around you will sharpen, when the space you're standing in will feel charged with something unseen. It won't announce itself with fanfare or dramatic signs. Instead, It will slip into your life like a truth you always knew but never dared to speak. You will be in the middle of something ordinary, a conversation, a walk, a glance across a room, and then you will feel it. A pull, a recognition, a shift that says, "This is it." And in that moment, you will not have the luxury of preparing your response, of calculating your words, of deciding how you want to be perceived. You will simply react from your most unguarded, unfiltered, and unmasked self. This is where the transformation begins, in the split second where instinct outruns fear. When that happens, there will be no performance to maintain, no image to uphold, no safe version of you to hide behind. The people who witness it may not understand exactly what has changed, but they will feel it in the way they suddenly lean closer, in the way their eyes search yours for something they can't quite name. Your energy will no longer be something you manage, it will be something you embody effortlessly. And with that embodiment comes a strange kind of liberation, one that makes you realize how much energy you've been wasting, trying to be palatable in a world that was never meant to consume you in the first place. You will see it clearly, the times you stayed quiet when you wanted to speak, the moments you played small to avoid threatening someone else's comfort, the endless rehearsals of how to be just enough but never too much. And in that clarity, there will be no anger, only release, because you'll finally understand that none of it diminished who you really are. It only delayed the moment you were ready to step into it fully. This weekend is that moment. This is the point where you stop measuring your worth by how others respond to you and start measuring it by how fully you inhabit yourself. You are not here to blend in, Scorpio. You are here to change the temperature of every room you enter, simply by existing in your truth. Scorpio, when you cross into this new space, something inside you will click into place, not loudly, not with fireworks, but with the quiet certainty of a lock turning after years of being jammed. You will realize that what's arriving this weekend is not random, not luck, not a stroke of chance. It is the sum of every moment you chose to endure, instead of break, every time you kept walking when it would have been easier to retreat, every truth you swallowed because you knew its time would come. This is the return on the emotional investments you made when no one was watching, the reward for holding on to your vision of yourself even when the mirror reflected only shadows. And when the unexpected arrives, it will not feel foreign. It will feel like home. You may find yourself in the presence of someone who sees you in a way you have not been seen in years, not for the roles you play, not for the image you project, but for the raw, unpolished truth of you. Or perhaps it will be an opportunity that falls into your lap without effort, a door you didn't even know existed, swinging wide open as if it had been waiting for you all along. For some, it will be a connection that pierces straight to the center of your guarded heart, dissolving walls you thought would stand forever. However it appears, the thread is the same. It will bypass every layer of defense you've built and go straight to the core of your being, awakening something ancient, something that has been starved for air. And from that moment on, you will start to carry yourself differently, not because you are trying to, but because you cannot go back to the version of yourself that needed permission to exist. Your energy will shift into its natural frequency, the one that doesn't chase, doesn't prove, doesn't bargain for worth. You will remember that your presence has always been the proof that your power was never about dominance or control, but about the quiet inevitability of transformation that happens simply by being in your orbit. This weekend is not about adding something new to you, it's about removing everything that kept you from realizing you were already whole. Scorpio, once this shift takes hold, the world around you will start to respond in ways that seem almost uncanny. People you haven't heard from in years may suddenly reach out, drawn back into your orbit without knowing why. Strangers may open up to you with startling vulnerability, sensing a safety in your presence they can't explain. Opportunities may align with such precision that you'll find yourself wondering if every detour and delay in your past was choreographed to lead you here. And in truth, it was. The universe has been weaving this moment into the fabric of your life for far longer than you've realized. Every heartbreak, every ending, every silence that once felt like abandonment was in fact a careful redirection, a clearing of space for something that would match the truest vibration of your soul. But here is the key. Scorpio, this is not a moment to overthink, to dissect, or to control. Your instinct may be to test it, to look for the trap, to search for the flaw hidden beneath the beauty. Resist that urge. What's arriving is not here to trick you. It's here to mirror you. It will reflect back the parts of yourself you thought were lost, the strength you underestimated, the beauty you tried to deny. And in that reflection, you will see the truth that has always been waiting for you to claim it, that you are not powerful because of what you do, but because of who you are when you stop pretending. This weekend is your initiation into living without apology, without dilution, without the endless edits that make you easier for others to accept. It's the beginning of a chapter where you no longer measure your worth by the weight of your secrets, but by the freedom of your expression. And once you cross this threshold, you will not go back. You will no longer need to chase love, because love will be drawn to you. You will no longer need to seek validation, because your own energy will affirm you in every breath. You will no longer fear being too much, because you will understand that the right people will never think you are enough until you are exactly that too much for the wrong ones. Scorpio, the unexpected that's coming is not just an event. It's the unveiling of the life you were meant to live all along. And once you taste it, you will wonder how you ever survived without it. Scorpio, as you step into this new frequency, you will notice how the air feels different around you, heavier in meaning, lighter in burden. It will be as if your very presence has shifted the gravity in your world. The people who once drained you will find no way to plug into your energy anymore. The spaces that once felt suffocating will lose their hold over you, and the endless internal dialogue, the self-questioning, the rehearsing of words before you speak, the weighing of how your truth will land will begin to dissolve. You will no longer be living on the defensive, constantly scanning for danger, constantly anticipating betrayal. Instead, you will live in a state of quiet authority, rooted in the knowing that nothing can take from you what was never meant for anyone else to hold. This is where your magnetism changes shape. It is no longer about luring people in or keeping them guessing. It is about radiating such unapologetic truth that the right ones recognize you instantly and the wrong ones remove themselves without drama. You will find yourself speaking less, but being heard more, doing less, but influencing more, revealing less, but being understood on a level that words could never reach. And in this economy of energy, your life will feel richer, sharper, and strangely simpler. The chaos you once thought you had to survive in will no longer interest you. Your appetite for unnecessary struggle will vanish. You will choose peace over proving, depth over drama, resonance over recognition. This weekend's unexpected event is the spark, but the firelights will not burn out. It will spread through every choice you make from this point forward. You will stop negotiating your worth in relationships, stop compromising your instincts for the comfort of others, stop delaying your own joy for the illusion of control. And perhaps most importantly, you will stop needing permission to be intense, to be deep, to be the storm and the stillness all at once. Because when you finally see yourself clearly without distortion, without the funhouse mirrors of other people's projections, you will realize you were never here to be understood by everyone. You were here to be unforgettable to the right ones. Scorpio, when the moment arrives, and you will know it the second it happens, it will feel as if the universe has stopped time just for you. The room may blur, the sound around you may fade, and your focus will narrow until all that exists is the truth standing right in front of you. It might be a sentence spoken by someone who doesn't even realize its weight, a gesture so small it could be missed by anyone else, or an opportunity that materializes so seamlessly it feels as if it's been waiting in the shadows for years. Whatever form it takes, it will bypass your mind entirely and go straight to the marrow of your being. And in that instant, you will understand why nothing before this moment could have worked. Why all the false starts and closed doors had to happen exactly as they did. This is the universe revealing its hand, showing you that what you thought were detours were in fact the main road all along. You will see the pattern that has been weaving through your life: every heartbreak, every silence, every strange twist of fate, not as random cruelty, but as precision beyond your comprehension. And in that recognition, something within you will exhale for the first time in years. You will no longer need to force trust, because you will feel it running through you like a current. You will no longer need to convince yourself you are protected, because you will see evidence of it in the very way this moment arrives. From here forward, your life will be divided into two parts: before this weekend and after this weekend. Before, you were still negotiating with the world, still shaping yourself to fit spaces that were never built to hold you. After, you will walk into rooms without shrinking, without scanning for who might misunderstand you, without the weight of constantly guarding your edges. You will no longer carry the ache of being unseen, because you will have met yourself fully, and once you have done that, no one can take it away. And Scorpio, when you stand in this new version of yourself, glowing not because you are trying to, but because you can't help it, you will finally understand the quiet promise the universe has been whispering to you all along. You were never lost. You are becoming. Scorpio, as this chapter seals itself into your life, you will notice a profound stillness in your soul, not the kind that comes from absence, but the kind born from presence. You will feel yourself fully inhabiting your body, your voice, your decisions, as if every fragmented piece of you has finally returned home. The endless search for proof, for validation, for signs that you are on the right path will dissolve, because the knowing will live inside you now, steady and unshakable. You will stop looking for omens in the world around you and start recognizing that you have become the omen, a walking signal to the universe that you are ready, willing, and aligned. From this point on, the way you move through life will change in ways others may not be able to articulate, but they will feel it. They will notice how you no longer rush to fill silences, how you do not flinch when challenged, how you choose your battles with precision rather than impulse. They will sense that your energy no longer leaks into people or places unworthy of it. And in that containment, your magnetism will triple in strength. You will no longer burn yourself out trying to keep connections alive. Instead, you will stand so firmly in your truth that the right people and opportunities have no choice but to find you. This weekend is not a climax. It is a doorway. The unexpected event is the key turning, but you are the one who will walk through, carrying nothing but what is real, leaving behind every illusion that kept you dimmed. And when you cross that threshold, you will understand that this was never about gaining power. It was about reclaiming the power you were born with. The one you once traded for acceptance, the one you now know can never be taken from you again. So don't make plans. Scorpio, let the universe have this one. Let it orchestrate what no amount of strategy could create. Let it show you that the most extraordinary things happen not when you are chasing, but when you are simply ready to receive. Because this weekend, you will not just witness a miracle, you will be the miracle. And once you see yourself that way, you will never go back.